Now the night rod, the moment you sit on it, the sheer weight of the bike moves you around. Now once the bike is moving, handling is not so difficult. It just moves left and right with ease. The bike really has a lot of torque to thrust you forward, and it's not something to be taken lightly. You don't even come to know when you're touching 70 in the third gear. And once you go on the throttle, it just propels you. It propels you forward hard. And the best part is, unlike any other V-twin, it's not twitchy, it's not jerky, there's no hard engine braking. The engine braking is damn smooth on this bike. You don't feel like you're riding a big gnarly V-twin. But mind you, turning this bike in, dipping it down, it takes a bit of the effort. It takes a lot of effort actually. But the exhaust note is breathtaking. And once the handle is turned in slow position, it takes a good amount of effort to go in. Now I'm 5'10", and I find this ride position decently comfortable. The foot pegs, as everyone has said before in every night rod or V-rod review, the foot pegs are quite a bit forward. So it takes some getting used to. When you're pulling in the clutch and you let it go, you can actually feel it engaging. Now this night rod in particular has an aftermarket LED headlight, a Vance & Nines exhaust, and the indicator on the bar ends. Night rod is not like other bikes. You get indicators on each end, and it's like a car. As soon as you finish your turn-ins, the indicator will shut down automatically. The headers are a bit too close for the feet, so you have to be careful while riding out the way you peep your feet. So as you can see, it's too close, so I have to keep my knees a bit out to get used to it. It does come with ABS as standard, and that's a really good feature considering how powerful the brakes are. Now I am riding in a typical Harley style with sleeveless on. I have to take a U-turn. Now it took me a good amount of effort to tip in the bike, but it does hold the line well when it tips in. Oh yeah. Now this bike is a dragster, so when you pull the throttle hard in first or second gear, it is going to go in that way. But because of the 240 rear tire, the stability on highway is good. The funny part is that despite being a Harley, the suspension is quite hard. My point being a tourer, you think that the suspension would be soft and it would be easy for you to ride. But it's not like that. The suspension is quite hard, and you do feel it. Now the foot pegs do give you decent clearance to tip in a bit, but again remember, it takes an effort to dip it in, and once it dips, you have to push to hold the line. But then again, I cannot think of a situation where you would feel as if the power is not enough. The power is always enough. Oh yeah, those afterburners engage hard, man. And it feels good. Harley Davidson was one of the first big bikes to come in India, and that's how I fell in love. Now this bike was the reason for me to fall in love with sport bikes and super bikes and big bikes and cruisers. That's how I got into biking, with the love of Harley Davidson, namely Fat Bob, Dyna and V-Rod. Now I entered my bike in the middle of the traffic for a very scientific purpose of finding out how it handles in the heat. And I can tell you, from the moment of entering in, the headers are cooking my thighs. Now when I was on the highway, even at the speed of 40, I did not feel it. You don't feel it, feel the heat killing you and cooking you when you are moving along. But the headers being out, it does give you the heat. But then again, if you have this bike and you get into such traffic, you are the foolish one. Now I was being foolish to get myself into trouble. But you, my friend, you should not do that. Finding neutral is relatively easy, and it doesn't give you false neutral. Okay, so cutting in and out like this, it was not I don't see the problem. I find it relatively easy to cut in and out like this. Moving from outside, you can feel the weight. See, I won't deny, I like to feel that I am quite strong, and despite that I am feeling the weight of pushing it about. So if you get into traffic of long duration, you are going to be in a lot of pain. Now the clutch being hydraulic gives you a uniform feel, but the feel is softened a little bit. It's not completely perfect, it's not completely soft. Now it does have the handlebar raisers and the widened handlebars, which was a good upgrade, I believe it, because the stock handlebars mean it would have been further ahead and you would need a lot more input just to steer the bike around. So this is a good upgrade. This model also has the tail tidy in it with the aftermarket tail tie with the number plate holder. Now when I said the suspension is hard, it doesn't mean, I don't mean it's hard like sport bikes. It's not under-damped or it's not over-damped. It's hard as in it lets you feel the bump, but it doesn't throw you off the seat. You're still firmly seated in your seat. I think the better word would be it gives you a good feedback rather than being a hard suspension. Yeah. So at any point if you feel as if you're in a corner and the road might not be good, you'll feel it in your handlebars and your seat and your foot pegs. Well, not really foot pegs, but the handlebar and the seat, you will be able to feel it, and you will be able to steer your bike and control it as per those feedbacks. You won't go too hard or too hot into a corner on a rough road, because then even if you have a 240 rear, that's hell for you. Now when we were going to the shooting point, the friend was sitting behind me, and he said that pillion comfort is decent. It's just that we don't have any grab rails or any backrest, so he found it really difficult to be seated on there. If we have a small backrest, he said it will be fine, it will be very easy to be seated on. So despite the size, you can seat in it. Okay, my thighs are quite hot now. I don't think I should have gone inside this traffic, but good thing where we want to go is just around the corner. So as soon as I enter the alleyway, if I see it's clear, I'll try to give it a little throttle and see the first gear pull. Oh, the turning radius is massive. Oh my god. Okay, a school bus is trying to turn. Now, speed breakers like this, they can be the death of you, so go really slow. Harleys were never really meant for speed breakers, and this is no exception. Well, we are at the shop now, and I'll be handing this over to them so that they can take it in. Now we are here, and this was the Harley test ride. I would like to remind you guys that this bike is for sale with Revive Customs. I'll put the link in the description if you want to locate the shop. If you want any bike, I'll be test riding of any good bike that comes in the shop and you would be interested in. So as you can see, the status, rideability, everything is good, and I'll tell you if anything I find out about the bike. And if you're interested, do contact Revive Customs. And thank you so much for taking your time to check out my video. I'll keep you guys updated on the latest reviews. Catch you guys next time. Adios.